So, you're on the internet, and one of those salty supporters says that Roman Abramovich is ruining football, and that Chelsea are not spending within their means. At that point, you say, slow down, Arsenal supporter, and show them the receipts. Chelsea are 13th when it comes to net spend over the last 5 years, which is insane. And even after you add Haverts and Chilwell to that, it's still comfortably better than Arsenal, even before Chelsea have sold a single player. So, Thiago Silva, Sarr, Havertz, Chilwell, the identity of the keeper to replace Kepa, Willian's replacement, and a secret player that seems to have come out of left field. Well, we need to talk about Chelsea and the great restructure of 2020. It's official. Chelsea have just completed a deal for Ben Chilwell, joining from Leicester City for £50 million. And Chelsea are set to complete deals for Thiago Silva, Sarr, as well as the big one, Kai Havertz, joining from Bayer Leverkusen for £80 million. This is just the tip of the iceberg of restructuring 2020, as we also have to cover the identity of the goalkeeper to replace Kepa, Willian's replacement, and a secret player which seems to be linked with Chelsea from left field. But before we get into all of this, let's just unpack all the deals that are set to be completed. Firstly, Ben Chilwell just completed his deal, and the word to describe this deal is applause, given the fact that Frank Lampard's team selected Chilwell from early on, and given the fact that they considered the likes of Tagliafico as well as Reunion, but they decided to go for their first choice Ben Chilwell, who has Premier League experience, so does come into the team straight away, and as well as the fact he's English, which gives them that Champions League spot. Not that they really needed it, given the brilliance coming through the Chelsea Academy, but certainly left back has been a problem area for quite a few years now, with the likes of Marcos Alonso being a great wing back and getting you goals. At fullback, however, well, the word liability comes to mind. Then there's Emerson Palmieri, who had a great start but quickly fizzled out. I think the less said about Emerson, the better. Moving over to Thiago Silva. Now, this is another great signing. He might be on the wrong side of 30. However, he just played the Champions League final against Lewandowski and hardly put a foot wrong. In fact, this is what Chelsea have lacked over the last few years, given the exciting youngsters bursting through Chelsea's academy, now being blended with a lot of the greatest young players from all around the world. This level of leadership and captaincy is what Chelsea needs. It is rumoured that he might take over the club captaincy from Aspie. Whether he does or not, having another great leader in the dressing room will certainly help Chelsea achieve all targets. Now, over to the big one, and it's Kai Havertz time. There's not a lot I haven't said about Kai Havertz in my previous video, which I will link right above, but I will share this pretty interesting stat. 80 million spent by Chelsea gets you Kai Havertz, one of the greatest players of his generation, and said to be one of the greatest players in world football. When you contrast that with Manchester United spending 80 million just to sign a convict in Harry Maguire, well, I think it's fair to say both clubs are not operating at the same level. On a serious note, Kai Havertz joining from Bayer Leverkusen is a pretty big deal. Even though Timo Werner is a great player in his own right, Kai Havertz has the potential to be the leader of this new Chelsea side, and he can certainly play in quite a few areas. Centre forward, false 9, 10, 8, and I'm sure if you put him in goal, he'll do a better job than Kepa performing the mannequin challenge. Speaking of Kepa, his replacement has been revealed as 28-year-old Rennes goalkeeper Edouard Mendy. Now, he's 6'6", and the most important stat to look at a goalkeeper is the post-shot expected goals minus goals allowed. And for Edouard, his last 2 seasons posted pretty respectable results of plus 4.6 and plus 1.7. Meaning 2 seasons ago he saved almost 5 goals over the course of the season, which he had no right saving. Now, these stats compare quite favourably to Kepa Arrizabalaga, who has actually underperformed this stat, actually having a negative value of 1.4 in his previous season, and last season a negative 9.8, meaning he conceded an incredible 10 goals from easy shots, which he should have certainly saved. Honourable mention to Saeed Benrahma. As I did say in my previous video, he is set to replace Willian at Chelsea. Player from left field that's been linked with Chelsea is none other than Edison Cavani. Now, this is certainly a surprising one, another free transfer, but I'd like to know in the comments what you think. It certainly has more merit than Rio Ferdinand suggesting, tongue-in-cheek, that Lionel Messi is set to sign for Chelsea. Whilst you're down there, let me know if you'd like me to do a separate video just talking about Edouard, Kepa's errors, and all the goalkeepers being linked with Chelsea this summer. That's our time. Consider subscribing if you enjoyed. Like, share, and comment. And as always, until next time.